I didn't even feel. Slow down, really? Whoa, man. Yo, let's get it. Let's get it. Surviving the Warehouse, take one. What's going on? My name's Julian Austin. This documentary is about a warehouse that's no longer operating, but it's well known. My times there, what I experienced was crazy as hell. So that's why I did this documentary, to let y'all know what I experienced. Some people says it's unbelievable, they don't believe the stories, but this is true. And the people involved, they definitely know who they are. So this is not to slander anybody, slander any company name, disrespect anybody, expose anybody. This is just the truth of this warehouse and the craziness, the fun, the drama, the corruption, everything that was involved in this warehouse. And I just wanted to speak on it, you know. So I'm not here to do this with any malice in my heart. It's just the truth. It's a random conversation. So I hope y'all enjoy. Safety in the warehouse? That was a joke. Check the next two clips out. You'll see what he's doing. So is it? Yeah. Oh my God. 6 feet, 6 feet. Yeah, in this warehouse, there was a lot of crazy stuff going on. A lot of crazy stuff. Once it was a supervisor. His name was Magic. I know he's from like Maryland or somewhere. He was an interesting character. So, you know, regular tall dude, look athletic, like he played ball. He was cool. Man, what up, bro? Yeah, I'm from Maryland, DC. He was from one of them spots. Yeah, from Maryland, from DC, kicking with everybody. But I know, you know, he smoked a lot of cigarettes. He would smoke a lot of cigarettes, like back to back. So he smelled like nicotine. Excuse me. So whatever, I'm like, cool. But he was always, hey, yeah, yo, we should all go out and get a drink. Yo, we all should, you know. And I used to be like, I get it, but he would just push the issue too much. We all should go get something to drink. Yo, come on, man. You know they just opened a little bar over there, man. We should go get a drink. Me and my people, we brushing him off like it's cool, whatever. And it was his manager was named Martini, and believe it or not, we in a warehouse. Nobody believe this. Periodically, Martini would come out with a little martini glass. Hey, how's everything going? Packages getting out? He have a little cocktail in the drink. He have a cocktail in a warehouse with a little cocktail. And we was calling him Martini. And him and Magic used to be cool. Yo, Martini, what up? You know what I'm saying? He have his little drink like, yo, like, you want one of these? Like, nah, Magic, I'm working today, man. Whatever the case is, but whatever. Come to find out, we had security cameras in the warehouse, but the problem was there was no audio. You could just see things. So we had a bathroom we can go in, but the bathroom, you had to have access to this one room. It was a private bathroom. You had the public bathroom, the private bathroom. Come to find out, it came out in the warehouse. Magic was fucking 2 dudes and 3 girls in that bathroom. So on the camera, it showed him going into the bathroom with 2 dudes and 3 girls. So basically, he was fucking 2 dudes, 3 girls. But the whole time, this guy was married. His wife did sports medicine, either for the Braves or the Falcons, one of them. And that information must have leaked out to home, and his wife got a hold of that. So one day, she came out beautiful, light skin, nice body, everything. She hopped out of all-white Audi. She had the little bat you get from, it's like a little bat. I forgot what team it was. She started beating Magic with the bat. You doing all this fucking shit, you nasty bastard. You down low bat hitting him. Magic just run off. So this dude was married, but he was fucking 2 dudes and 3 girls in the warehouse bathroom on the overnight. Give me a second. So there was another incident involving the supervisor Magic that I mentioned before. So they was on the dock where, you know, all the merchandise come in and it get inducted into the building and broken up and, you know, divided amongst routes and stuff or whatever. But the guy Magic was working with this other guy, and they used to go outside. Well, we used to go outside if like you a yard marshal or a supervisor or team, whatever. You would go outside with another person. You had to be 2 people to go outside to be by the trucks and all that stuff for safety reasons. So usually you have a flashlight at night to go outside in the dockyard. So the guy said to Magic, yo, give me that flashlight in your sweatpants. Like the guy thought he had a flashlight in his sweatpants pocket. Magic looked at him and said, this ain't no flashlight. Yeah, so, I mean, of course, in this doc, we not using any names, right? But we had someone in HR. She was cool as heck. I have so much respect for her. But, you know, it was a little corrupt in there. Meaning for a McDonald's fish sandwich with a Sprite, she will fire somebody for you. So if you had a problem with somebody, you wanted to get them out the warehouse, which I never done. I know a few people who did. If you was close to her, you would buy her a fish sandwich with a Sprite and you'll be out of here. Don't forget that Sprite though. She might get rid of you. But it was crazy like that. I remember one time, one infamous, I don't know if she was a supervisor or worker or whatever. She just could do whatever she wanted. I remember one of the head guys from corporate came and they was just praising her. She do what the hell she wanted to do. I didn't even know what was her title, what was her level or anything. But her and another person, excuse me, the other lady hated her. She was really queen bitch, like just run around. She could do anything she want. The day they fired her, I remember the HR lady had her badge and just dropped it on the table. Kind of like cutting somebody's head off and just come in there and look, I got their head. So I remember that. It was crazy. They tactics and stuff, it definitely wasn't legal. Safety, man, I'm just letting you know, we made our own rules in the warehouse, and it may seem like I'm snitching and whatever, but no, I'm not using no names, no locations or nothing. Just know we changed the whole operation of a warehouse because we did it our way. It was very unorthodox. I done seen cats run up conveyor belts to fix jams when the packages get stuck. I done seen cats pour up some dirty Sprite before Future mixtape and get loaded off the lean and be in there operate, you know, working machinery. Some niggas came in there high. You know what I'm saying? Whatever. They probably was freebasing before they came to work. I don't know. But it was just different. And that was the environment. And it was fun. It was fun. It was very unorthodox. This is what we trying to tell y'all. While we on the subject of safety. So one time we thought we had an active shooter. So inside the place, a guy came in because all the garage doors was up. Anybody could just walk in there. It was crazy, like I mentioned before. It was just random people would be in the warehouse. So anybody could walk in there. Imagine what type of animals was in the warehouse because it was always an open warehouse where you could just walk in there. It was nothing, like no barriers. Like now the front door, you probably got a buzz to get in, but you could walk right around and come through the garage doors. So whatever the case is, a guy came in, he ain't had no shirt, no shoes on with a radio. But like a big, a old school jukebox like Radio Raheem had. He had no shoes, no shirt, just jeans on. So automatically somebody said it was an active shooter. So management gonna tell everyone to go to lane 1, I think it was like all the way in the back, and line up against the wall. I said, what type of St. Valentine's massacre? Man, listen, by the time my ass was up the street by the time they talking about this is a follow the drill or something. Man, hell no. The dude ain't had no gun. I guess he got fired from there, and he was playing Fight the Power on the radio and just walking through there with no shoes on and no shirt on. It was weird. When they arrested him, they carried him out. That nigga was hog-tied in zip ties. They arrested him in zip ties and his ankles and wrists. It was it was crazy in there. It was crazy. So you see the image on the screen. There's a reason why this image is in the documentary. It was an incident. I'm going to call the guy Mike Epps. It was between the guy Mike Epps and a manager. I'm not going to say his name. He was on the overnight. So this particular incident, Mike Epps was up at night on the overnight eating rib sandwiches out of the vending machine and drinking diet soda. So, you know, his stomach killing him. So he was like, he wanted to go use the bathroom, was like running water through his ass. Like he was shitting out his lungs, his heart, and everything. Like his stomach was killing him, bubbling like Alka-Seltzer. So all that stuff happening, but they have a lot of trucks on the dock to be unloaded. So the guy, the manager, he's a little short. I don't know if he's Palestinian or whatever his nationality was, little short dude. And he was just, anxious, like, we got to get these trucks unloaded. So, they one man short. You got the guy, Mike Epps, in the bathroom shitting his heart out. So he done took all his clothes off. He said he was down to his damn socks, ass naked in a public bathroom with just socks on shitting. He's just killing him. He like, he might have to call the paramedics. And the craziest thing happened. The manager came in the bathroom and put his head under the stall while the dude is shitting. It was like, you need to hurry up. We got mad trucks to unload, man. And the dude confused, like, what are you doing, man? You invade my privacy. The manager like, man, hurry up, man. We got trucks to unload, man. Get that shit out and let's go. That's pure dirty work. This cake was given to a lead by a supervisor for the fact that the lead claimed he never wore a condom in the city of Atlanta. I hope that cake got penicillin in it.
Oh, is this what you call work?
Baby.
Now, this incident was involving this guy named JK-47. He was an animal, and I'm sure they got it documented. The warehouse, this particular warehouse, have it documented. This guy was a monster. One incident, which started the whole case being built against him, but he never was convicted for anything. That's why they call him JK-47. He was doing a race and always beat every case. So one time, he was infatuated with this one worker, a young girl, probably like 22, just coming to work, do her job, and he was infatuated. He started out bringing her lunch every day. Then he often be in her section, the part of the warehouse she worked at, helping her with her work. So one day, at lunchtime, he said, I got something for you. So this allegedly, because he never was charged for it, he put his penis on a sandwich roll with like lettuce, onions, pickles, put all the condiments on there, wrapped it up, and try to hand it to her. And that was one case. So, you know, they brought detectives in. She called a sexual harassment suit on him. And, you know, they was trying to figure it out. They couldn't prove it. They couldn't prove it, though. So he beat that one case. The other one is, I don't know how he got the girl number, but he was texting her like, hey, if I call the post office and see if I can get delivered to your house asshole naked in a box, you think I'll live long enough to make it to your front door? And he never was charged for that. And this is like documented shit I'm promised the warehouse have. So this could tell you what type of place this was.
Yeah, so working at the warehouse was quite interesting. We had a couple of characters there. One in particular by the name of Ripley. You know, he used to bring knives to work. He had a crush on this young lady there, and he threatened to cut her heart out and wear it on his sleeve. Yeah. You know, these are the people that they hire in the warehouses. You know, he ended up shaving his head. He looked like Vic Mensa now. You know, a little strange. Yeah, he looks like the Pharaoh from 300, just minus the jewelry, the facial jewelry. Yeah, but, you know, he used to make beats, too. So he wanted to be a producer, but the beats he was making, I don't know if y'all know what white noise sound like. It's sort of like that with a little boom, boom, bap over the back. But I used to tell him I loved it because I was frightened, man. I didn't want him to cut me. He threatened to cut a lot of people. Scary hours.
And then we had a dude named Rico, a.k.a. Colombiana. Like, what was he on? He could barely read English, barely speak English, but he was a manager. He wasn't managing anything but himself. And that was poor. His damn calf muscles was this fucking big. But you know why? That motherfucker walked to work. 17 miles. I couldn't do it.
Go ahead, Terrell. Go ahead. Go ahead. Hey, do it again. Do it again.
Shout out to our old supervisor, little microphone head. She looked like the mayor from Chicago, Lightfoot. The crazy thing is she used to go get junkies from Bankhead to cook for us. So she was taking corporate funds and going to get grade A junkies to cook soul food for us. Some of them come in with track marks on their arms, canes, nose running, mad fidgety. They had to be washed at all time, but we still got good food. So you could tell that was the atmosphere of the warehouse. This image right here represents this one lady who worked in a warehouse with us, who claimed the only reason she was there because her husband got some drugs on consignment from the cartel and didn't pay him. So they kidnapped him, duct taped him, raped him, and thrown him off a roof in Juarez, Mexico. These are her words. Now, another character we had in the warehouse, this guy, we called him Franklin because he looked like Franklin the Turtle. So, whatever the case, the first interaction I had with this dude, we was doing our routine stretches before the shift start. And this nigga gonna say to me, yo, you flexible, my G. I had to check. I checked the nigga on this because I'm like, yo, you out of pocket. You really out of pocket on that. Then the second time he was wilding, not on me, but it was another cat who's actually a DJ. And he was just kept going on and on. Yo, this is my man right here. Yo, he cool as hell. He just going keep talking, harassing a nigga like, yo, he my man. He's like, yo, he's so cool, he can fuck my wife. I'm like, what? Then he was like, yo, I want you to fuck my wife while I beat off, and then I'm going to go to Quick Trip and get a sandwich and not wash my hands and eat that sandwich with the hand I beat off with. This is true story. That cat Franklin was that weird. This what type of time he was on. These the people this company hired. True story. Now the other character, he actually was a supervisor. He was named after like electronic or something. When he first came, all he had was like their traditional Indian robes and sandals. And I guess, the company gave him some walking Nikes from DSW and some glasses and, kind of westernized his fashion sense. And then he started just being real wild, like trying to be strict. And he always had a rug with him, man. I'm saying respectfully, like he reminded me of Haji from Johnny Quest. Like he was flying on that damn rug all day because all he had is rug with him. And not sure if it was a prayer rug or anything, but he always had a rug with him. And then He smelled like, a pound of curry, and he came in as a cool guy, then he got very arrogant and, you know, like he westernized, really started being on some bullshit. He still was eating rice with his hands and shit and bathing in bowls of water, but he was just a different person. So coming to that warehouse can take away your culture also too. You got very westernized, start smoking white cigarettes and shit like cowboys and listening to Shakira or some shit. He'd pull up bumping Shakira, with that damn rug on his shoulder. And I really don't know what happened to him. I don't really know. I don't know if he went back to India or whatever. I don't know. Probably be at a bus station playing a flute with a snake coming out of a basket. I don't know. So the next person from the warehouse, basically it's like a piece of furniture. I think if they would have sold the warehouse, she would have been sold with it. Respectfully. We used to call her the WB Frog. You know the one from the station. It's the WB. She was just a slave. Anything that warehouse wanted, she did. She was there. She never missed a day. Her life is that warehouse. I think without that warehouse, she wouldn't be here today. And she still works for that company. Shout out to the WB Frog. Once she said, I'm not Michigan J Frog with the top hat and the cane. But I mean, since a kid, she liked a little tadpole. And once she got off that lily pad and she came to the warehouse, it was the WB Frog. Shout out to her. She's still active in the warehouse. She ain't going nowhere. She, till she take a dirt nap, I believe. This other character, we call him the dollar menu. So I think he used to be a big movie star at one point. He allegedly was on Epstein's Island partying, snorting mad blow, allegedly. But he was walking through the warehouse. He used to do some wild stuff. It was this one, we had a lot of kids come from college. It was this 21-year-old girl. I think she was from like Alabama or something. And she had a stuttering problem. But he would keep going at her and she'd be like, she's not interested. One day he grabbed her by her ponytail and brushed up on her like, I'll tear your ass up from the back. And we was like, what the hell? And the cousin intervened to fight him, but it didn't go too far. But he would do a whole bunch of other crazy stuff. Like the one thing, and this is like true story from an eyewitness. They said they went out to a strip club. And when it was time, they take pictures. He pulled his wood out. And then like, how Chief Keef used to be hanging, like he's falling back in his old videos. So the dude was falling back with his wood in his hand. And the other dude was holding him up. So they took a picture. He had his wood in his hand. And next thing you know, security rushed him out, threw him out. Like, yo, you out of pocket. Like, basically grabbed him, like, by his pants, pulled his pants and had him run in the air like a little kid and threw him out the club. And the next day I asked him, I'm like, yo, is that really true? He said to me, you wasn't there, so don't worry about it. So at that point, I knew he was just a sex offender, like a cold stone sex offender. He's in his numerous stories with the dollar menu. He's a monster. He's a monster. I'm sure he took some box in his time at that warehouse. You got.
All right, so working at the warehouse was, like I said before, it's pretty tumultuous, man. We had a lot of characters, a lot of people who should be locked up, in my opinion. We have one character in particular goes by the name of Dollars. And if anybody knows who the Creep Squad is with Rich Dollars, that's what we base this man on, because he moved in a creepy way. He moved in a very creepy way. He claimed to be a Muslim, but I don't believe that. All he eats is banquet TV dinners, and I don't know, man. I never seen the man touch a drop of alcohol, but is in the club acting like he's drunk. That's just not how men are supposed to move, grown men especially. This man told a young lady at the job that he would blow her back out, grab her ponytail. This young lady, by the way, had a stutter. This is a very old man. He's almost 50. This young lady was just entering college. Y'all do the math. He also told a lady by the way, who I thought was very burnt out, told her that her girls was looking perky. I think y'all know what that means too, man. This lady came in there without a bra on, and he saw that and pounced on the opportunity to make a comment. There's some very, very sick individuals in this world, man. Very sick.
That's not funny.
Do a squat. Key. Do a squat. Hey. Hey. Hey.
Don't let her clip your nuts off, G.
Let who cut what?
Gonna cut your sack off, G.
Who finna cut my sack off?
She gonna cut your sack off.
Robinson was saying Chris Cross applesauce at the fucking gym. Ain't doing shit on his phone.
It said who better? It says you was better than you.
But it don't matter to me. I don't even know.
What?
I see him trying to instigate. Yeah, follow Instagram like fuck right.
Yeah, I'm ready. Yeah, we can roll. So at the warehouse, man, it was just different. I remember we was so out of control and management didn't care because they was busy doing them. We would go to like Waffle House for like 2 hours and fall asleep, eat and fall asleep. And then get a text message like, yo, where y'all at? Why y'all not on the dock unloading trucks? We're like, all right, we be back. We in the bathroom. It was just that out of control because it was so much corruption going on within this warehouse. They didn't worry about what the employees was doing. So we kind of, we changed the landscape of a lot of stuff. So now I'm sure at this particular warehouse, which we not mentioned the name in this documentary, we the reason why they got labor track. We the reason why they check IDs. I remember at times, if you didn't come to work, but I did, I just give you my ID and I'm not even snitching. This is, you know, is the past. It's done, whatever, is done. You guaranteed to have 60 hours. I had 60 hours all the time. Because if you was at work and I wasn't, you badging for me. If I was at work and you wasn't, I badging for you. We just looked out for each other. So everybody had 60 hours overtime. We was killing the clock to the point I remember the Indian dude brought us in like, yo, y'all gotta chill. Cool. This is how corrupt this place was. It was just out of control. So that's why the lady was able to rob the shit out of it at the end during the pandemic time. It was just so much going on. So it was some good memories, man. And we never worry about punishment because it wasn't. You could just practically do what the hell you want to do. That was the warehouse. One of my guys, I'm not even going to say his name. I remember him. He used to come and ride in with me in the morning and punch in and go back to my Jeep and go to sleep. And wake up in the middle of the operation and be like, I'm good. And that was his daily routine. That was, his weekly routine. And I remember one time he's like, yo, I really don't feel like coming in. Yo, he came in at 5 a.m., punched in, dipped, was gone the whole day, came back at 5 p.m., clocked out. Easy money. No repercussions, no nothing. Nothing. Smooth sailing, man. That was the warehouse, man. That was the warehouse. Now, the warehouse had so many characters. So there's one character, I'm not even gonna say his name. I'm gonna just say Mitch. I thought he was a big shot, but he really was just a team lead. As I, rose up in the ranks in the warehouse, I learned he was just a team lead. And he was cool, but he moved like he had weight. He held weight in his warehouse. So this one dude named E, he used to have this big ass Uncle Fester coat on because his wife used to abuse him. And she must have been a boxer. She'd be hitting that nigga in the side. Bing! I remember his ribs was cracked and all that. He had this big ass coat. I always thought he had like a shotgun under it or something. But he'd come in, he got little marks on his neck from like a cat was thrown on his neck. He'd be scratched up. But he'd come in and I guess they fired him one day. And he still was coming to work like, yo, bro, I don't know what's on my badge. I can't punch in. The dude, Mitch, was like, yo, don't worry about it, man. I'm going to get you back in. Just keep coming. So he had to piggyback off our badges to get in the door. The man is fired. He's gone. He's not in the system. So he's there working for free. And the dude, Mitch, is like, yo, just tally up, get a piece of paper, write down how many hours you did. This dude came for a whole week, 40 hours, just writing down his hours. And Mitch was just selling him wolf tickets the whole time. And this long coat motherfucker is just here working for free. So I don't know what was Mitch's point, but Mitch met his demise because with the one flex driver, he used to steal packages. So Mitch called himself being, you know, officer of the warehouse and called him and put his hand into the dude's car and was trying to get the package. Dude rolled the window up and drugged that nigga all the way damn near out the warehouse. And they fired Mitch. So it was kind of like karma got him back. And last time I seen him, he was at Quick Trip saying please and thank you. What, you need 12 on 8? The warehouse, a lot of sex was happening in there. I remember the janitor guy, he once had to hold a meeting with the head of the warehouse because he found 20 used condoms on the ground on the overnight. That's how crazy it was. And I remember the head guy was like, at least they using condoms. It was like no problem. Like, this was the house of horror. It was fun, but it was like Sodom and Gomorrah. It was just wild there. Like 20 used condoms on an overnight, and y'all claim y'all getting workout. You really was getting workout. Niggas was getting, whether it was niggas or bitches, they was getting their back fucking ran through. And like Magnum did a lot of good sales that year because that's a lot of condoms a night, man. And at least they ain't go raw. Also too, shout out to it was an old head. I'm not even say his name. His face, he looked like an old newborn baby with the predator dreads. It looked like his dreads was just like he never grew it out. It's like they just got some fake dreads, put glue on it, and attached them and hit him in the head with them. That's how they look. It was like only like 5 up there, and he was like 70. And this dude would love the dumpster dive. He thought it was an art of throwing things in a dumpster. He's like, hey, you gotta grab this material and move and then you drop it. Like, he really thought he was someone. And his reign was short-lived because someone came along and they ain't like what he was doing. And he was like, you know what? Hey, you go over there. And they could find him to some. This is a 70-year-old guy. And they could find him somewhere because he was so passionate about doing what he do. And the people didn't like it. And he was a good dude. It was just a lot of peanut butter and jelly shit going on, if you know what I mean. And Mitch had a sidekick. We used to call him Winnie the Pooh. He was like the most ass-kissing, low-level piece of trash to ever walk this earth. He looked like a little cub, a dirty little black bear. And anything Mitch tell him to do, he would just do. And they had a relationship like Mitch probably eat a box of pizza and leave the crust and put it in a bowl and hand it to him. And he's fine with that for lunch. That's how low level he was. He didn't have a car to get to work. I think he used to, he rode a skateboard to work. He had a skateboard. And one time, I think he was on his belly pushing the skateboard to get to work. Like, this is real stuff. And he would tell him anything. Oh, you at the bathroom too long. You doing this, you doing. He was just a low level rat bastard. Like, just, I just want to shout out, rest in peace to him. I don't know if he taking a dirt nap. I could care less where that son of a bitch at. Like, he was just that low. And I just remember, I don't even remember his real name. He was just lower than lower. And he thought he was moving up in the company. They got rid of him less than a month. He was just a piece of just low level. He was like gum on the bottom of a shoe. It's words can express how low of a human being is. But he's, you know what I'm saying? We just call him Winnie the Pooh, man. He would do anything. Mitch, I won't be surprised if it's a picture with Mitch got a leash around his neck just holding him and they standing there. First and foremost, I'd like to say rest in peace to Sam Mallard, and my condolences go out to his family. We knew Sam as Iran Sam in the warehouse. He's a wild dude. He once told one of the ambassadors, bitch, I will murder you. So that's what we're not slandering his name, but that's the memories of him we have. and we heard about him impersonating being a U.S. Marshal, a police officer, and all these things. Unfortunately, they're true. But that's what we remember of him. And when we got the news, he had that situation with the police. It was unfortunate and sad, man. It was, but he definitely was a product of the warehouse.
We worked with this young gentleman. I'm gonna just call him Iran Sam. He, like Yosemite Sam, he was running around. He was kind of crazy. But I don't know if there was something wrong with him mentally. It may have been, but he'd be up in the job. He's threatening supervisors. He told the one white woman, "I'm gonna slap the shit out of you, bitch." It's crazy stuff, man. And he used to dress up as a police officer. He used to steal uniforms, and he would go around. There was a certain incident that happened up the street from our warehouse, and he said he was going on break. He wanted to take lunch. Well, his lunch break included putting on a police uniform and heading to said incident and saying, he's there to investigate. He was by himself in a beat down Honda Civic. Now, I don't know where the car came from. It wasn't a police vehicle, but the people that worked at the place where it happened, they let him in. When actual law enforcement showed up, he ended up getting arrested. As he should, so.
This particular story was about two best friends in a warehouse, two females, and they claim to be so close. If you've seen one, you've seen the other. They claim to be, ride or die, I got you. You know what I'm saying? But it becomes that warehouse environment, that trying to climb that corporate ladder, it becomes very, very competitive. So what happened was, one of them went to another building, the other one stayed there, so they both doing their thing, but they still want to climb up in the company. So the one that stayed in our warehouse, she was just doing what she had to do. The other one, she done left and went to a new building. She brand new, she doing her thing. So the other one that stayed at our building ended up going to her building because you can advance more at the other building. So now that caused friction because it's like, we're friends, you doing you. But when you come over here, now they bumping heads. So that's what was happening. And one of them excelled more than the other one, the one that was already at that building. And she could see that the management team start going more for her opposed to going more for the one that came to the building than the one that was already at that building. So she started panicking, and one day she had the one that was already at the building had a mental breakdown, and it was so crazy because they said she was under a table, she was balled up under the table, refusing to move, kept uttering stuff in Hebrew under her breath, just balled up in a corner. Balled up under the table, and she wouldn't move for 2 hours. So one of the shift supervisors had to take a water hose and spray under the table and get her out of there like she was like a little raccoon or something. Because she was up under there just speaking in Hebrew. And this is a black girl. Just speaking in Hebrew, balled up under this table. They sprayed her with the hose. Eventually, the ambulance had to take her out strapped to the stretcher. And that was the end of it. And I'm sure they ain't friends no more. That shit sound crazy, but it's true. Where she learned Hebrew at? Yo, shout out to my man Radio, wherever you at, man. Cool cat. When he first came to the warehouse, he pulled up on a bike with a bunch of old little speaker radio parts and all that stuff in this little bike thing. And he really didn't comprehend the work. Sometimes you just say something, he just stare at you like blank stare, make you want to knock on his head and say, isn't anyone there? But that's another story. And he gradually got it. He started opening up, being cool. And, it just became part of the warehouse, man. Good dude, man. Next clip, watch him. He in the next clip. Shout out to Radio.
Radio.
Yeah, Marshall, run a loadout. Radio, baby, yeah. So we had another young gentleman there. I'm pretty sure he's a descendant of slave owners because the way he was built, it's not like a regular person. He was like real small, real frail dude, man, but he looked like he came from money. You know, one of them types that just a lot of pork and liquor in your family lineage. You know what I'm saying? It was just like, I don't know why he was in the warehouse in the first place. He's struggling with boxes. He's over there like about to fall over. It's like a down goes Frazier type thing. You know what I mean? I don't know, yo. I think that may be payback for what his ancestors did. I don't know. I think our ancestors would be proud.
And like I was saying, the warehouse had all types of characters, cool cats. Like shout out to my boy DSS. This story, it haven't been confirmed, but they said it was real. So they was on a dock, and one of the ambassadors, team leads, whatever, he lived with him. And you know, DSS would put the work in, but he had an unorthodox schedule. Like he could pick up days opposed to having them scheduled. So DSS just on the dock working, he working hard doing his thing. And you know how you work, but kind of like your drawers be showing. So he had a leopard print thong on, like a Speedo, leopard print Speedo on, like a male Speedo. And he just working. And the other dude like, why do you got my drawers on? And everybody look, and he like, yo, chill. DSS trying to calm him down. He like, I told you to stay out of my dirty hamper. Them is dirty. I need to wash them tomorrow. So apparently he had his Speedo on. He had his roommate's Speedo on, leopard print. And you know, we found that to be crazy because he was dedicated. He's like, yo, I didn't have any clean drawers to wear to work, and I really need to come to work. So I guess he wanted his hamper and got his dirty Speedo out. And I mean, that's dedication, but that is mad foul. And I don't know, man. DSS still cool in my book, but that's a story we heard. We still need that confirmation, but hey, I'm just telling you what I heard. Yeah, so my time at the warehouse, I was able to rise through the ranks because it was all about who you know and who you got along with. And fortunately, I got along with the head guy, and it was another supervisor. I ain't gonna say their name or say her name. We became very close. I used to be at her crib. We was, you know what I'm saying? She'd buy me seafood and all types of crazy shit. Like, we was that close because it was like, keep it a buck, I was like her muscle. You know, whatever the case is, when situations got out of control in the warehouse, she'll call me and I'll handle that business. And she know that to this day. I'll come handle that. It was a bunch of times I supposed to have been fired, but she fucked with HR, so HR it's cool. So like in that warehouse, when you know people, you well connected, you get so many privileges. Like prime example, I was getting 60 hours a week, guaranteed. Without a doubt, 60 hours a week. And I had 2 positions. I was working at 2 different warehouses at one time, which was it was very unheard of. I was at 2 warehouses, the same company, 2 different positions, 60 hours a week for months. So I'm killing them. And it been times where people are like, how you do that? Where the head dude be like, none of your business. I'm going to handle that. So I was fortunate to have all those privileges. Then on top of it, me being close to that one supervisor, I was able to do whatever I wanted to do. I would stay back 12 hours. You know what I'm saying? I would do a 12-hour shift while the shift was regular 8 hours. Stay back 12 and be with her. Just working and getting money and doing what I want to do. And I moved through the warehouse how I wanted to because they respected me and they fuck with me. Not saying I wouldn't work. I definitely would work and come to work. And matter of fact, that's why I became cool with a lot of people on the overnight shift too. And that was a different because them was older cats and they was about their business. Meaning you get in that truck throwing them boxes, ain't no plan, ain't no I don't feel like doing it. You'll fuck around and get the rumbling up in that motherfucker because these older cats ain't playing. They was about their business like, yo, let's go, let's go, let's go. So I became cool with a lot of them. And even one dude, I ain't gonna say his name, he was on the overnight, he came to the day shift. He ended up being cool as hell. He almost lost his job. I saved his job from him. To this day, I don't think he understand that I saved his job because the lady was ready to get him up out of here quick. It was an incident. He threw he took one of the pallets and threw it at a white dude. He was out of control. He's a fucking maniac. And that was grounds for them to get done. They had the camera, they had it on camera and all that. They ain't had no audio, but it was on camera. But me being connected and fucking with the HR was like, I'm like, yo, he need his job, please. Because I never played that fire and shit. I never played, yo, I'm gonna get you to lose your job. I never played that. I'm not cut from that cloth. But that's how it was. It was like who you knew and what you knew. And most times I use my little power I have for good. So, you know what I'm saying? Nobody can say I never did them wrong, even though, you know, people get in their feelings and people have different views of things, man. I always looked out for niggas, man. Simple. In that warehouse, I did a lot of good for people, and people know that.
We also had a young lady who worked at the place, and I'm not gonna say she was homeless, but she did stay in her car. She, you know, bathed on site, ate on site. It was a lot of cheap Chinese food, a lot of, you know, $3 wing specials, and working every shift of the job, you know. And yo, respect to her, man. I know that bank account had to be fat, but I don't know where she was sending the money, because it's like she was from a different country or something. She just sending it back home because she didn't have a place to stay. She slept in her car. A lot of gas being used, you know.
Action.
Yo, we getting paid for this, man? All right. I'm gonna tell the story. It was you know, I worked in a warehouse. You know, it was a dude. I'm gonna name him Monkey Barrel. He harassed me every night, man. You know, every time I talk, every time he asked me something, all I see on my shoulder was little monkey on my back. Dance. And I tried, you know, I did what he asked to do, but he kept bothering me, man. Like it was in my dreams, man. You know, he tore me up, man. Pause. That sounds dirty, but you know, tore me up. But that's not true. But I was one day I was in the, you know, warehouse working, and Monkey Barrel. Damn. Do this, Dan, do this. I just sorry. He make cut. I can't do this. I can't.
The fuck? He got sexual assaulted by him or something? That's weird as shit. So the final chapter of The Warehouse actually was with a young lady who brung the whole operation to his knees. So we knew her as K-Rika Dupree. Her real name is K-Rika Rotham. So she claimed to be a Cuban immigrant who spoke fluent Spanish, but really was just a black girl from Florida or Chicago. So she was a mean scam artist, like mean scam artist. And you notice through the whole documentary, I haven't said anyone's real name. I'm only saying hers because this is like public domain. This is documented in the news. And it was crazy. I knew her. We knew her personally. She was quiet. She was cool. She was very laid back, very, very patient and laid back. But we know the reason why. So the whole time she was there, she was actually charged and convicted with wire fraud. And they said she stole $10 million from this company. So, which was crazy. The story I heard, and it could be some holes in there. I could be wrong, whatever the case is. But she's in jail. She's in federal penitentiary, washing drawers in the shoe program. I know that for sure. That's documented. So she stole $10 million from this company. And the crazy thing about it, they said how she stole it. So the actual people that deliver packages from the warehouse, she made 9 fake companies of those. And they was non-operational. And through her skill and her being part of the operation, she just had these companies. She was receiving funding without these companies even being functional. To make a, long story short. And they said she was cashing out $900,000 a month. And then she was paying off all the big wigs in the warehouse. So all the cats that was frontline and leaders and stuff, they knew what was going on. Even the girl that I was close to, she knew what was going on. It was bullshit. And that's maybe to this day right now why she act funny even when I try to speak to her, because maybe she was part of that situation. And you know what I'm saying? Shout out to her, keeping her mouth closed. I would think she would turn informant if she haven't already. But yeah, that brought the warehouse to his knees. And it's some news clippings is up. You can see just passing through, and she was a beast with it, man. She was a beast. She's legendary, but she definitely brought the warehouse to his knees, and that shit shut down quick. It shut down quick. Finish. Finito. Bandit house. That shit is a real bando right now. So yeah, shout out to her. She up in the federal penitentiary. See her about, man, she probably be home like 2046 or some shit, man. Shout out to her. That's it. And resulting from that shit is closed down and no longer in operation. So that could tell you, that kind of confirm all the shit I've been telling you previously in this doc, that look what happened. It ended that way. So I don't know what else to tell you, man. The title speaks for itself.